A developing story in Haiti tonight. Police now denying reports that government leaders there in Haiti were involved in the assassination of that country's president. Meantime, our president, Joe Biden, plans to increase security at the U.S. embassy there following unrest in the days after the killing, though he says he will not send troops, saying that's not on the agenda right now. Meantime, investigators have not listed a primary suspect in all of this, but already dozens of people are in custody. NewsNation anchor Rudabe Shabazi live in the newsroom tonight with new details about the suspects and some who have ties to the U.S.
Rob, the unfolding drama and chaos in Haiti is deepening. 23 people have now been arrested, including 18 former Colombian soldiers, some of whom had U.S. military training, 3 Haitians and 2 Haitian Americans, including a Miami doctor.
The FBI is providing investigative assistance to the Haitian authorities at the request of the government of Haiti.
The White House confirming the U.S. is assisting in the investigation into the pre-dawn attack that took place at the president's private home. President Jovenel Moise shot to death, his wife wounded. It's still not clear who pulled the trigger, but the latest suspects in this sweeping investigation include his own head of security, a former Haitian senator, a fired government official, and an informant for the U.S. government. More than a dozen Colombian commandos, some of whom received U.S. training, are also in custody. Their president says they were duped into going to Haiti to provide security. Colombia's police chief says they were there to arrest Moise.
Entre comillas, planear.
They plan to arrest the president and, according to them, hand him over to the DEA, he says. On Sunday, Haitian police arrested Christian Sanon, a 63-year-old Haitian doctor and pastor who lives in Florida and who had accused Moise of corruption. The police saying he wanted to be the president of Haiti and that the assassins were protecting him. Haitian police say he and others met over the last year to plot the assassination, but they say those meetings in Florida and the Dominican Republic were to plan a government once Moise stepped down. Moise's wife posted this message to social media from her hospital bed saying, "I'm crying, that's true, but we cannot let the country lose its way." At a memorial, mourners called Moise a martyr for their country. We will not abandon him, this man says.
Haiti's interim Prime Minister Claude Joseph was about to be replaced when Moise was assassinated. Moise had announced he had chosen a new prime minister 2 days before he was killed, but he had not yet been sworn in. And Joseph has insisted he is in charge of the government. That's a claim that has been recognized by the U.S. and others. Rob?
An unreal drama. Rudabe, thank you.